Hi there, and welcome to our webinar, How to Grow Your Email Marketing List. I'm Justin Thorpe, Marketing Manager for AddThis. Before we begin, just a few housekeeping notes. We're recording this webinar and we'll send out links to the recording and slides. Please submit your questions for the speaker in the Zoom Q&A console on the top of your screen. For those of you not familiar with AddThis, we help you attract and engage your mobile and web visitors with smart and beautiful marketing tools powered by extraordinary interest-based behavioral data. You've likely seen us on the over 15 million sites that use our sharing buttons. Did you know that AddThis has tools to help you grow your email list? Promote subscribing to your email list with interfaces like an overlay, sliders, top bars, and bottom bars. We integrate directly with leading email marketing providers like Aweber and many more. Put the right promotion in front of the right user at the right time by leveraging user data. Activate today at addthis.com. Now on to today's talk. Elizabeth is the content marketing specialist for the leading email marketing platform, Aweber. For today's talk, Elizabeth will talk about tips, tricks, and common mistakes for growing your email list. And now, Elizabeth, over to you.
Thanks, Justin, and thank you to everyone for being here today. I hope you all can see my screen right now. My name is Liz Willits. I'm a content marketing specialist at Aweber, like Justin said. Aweber is an email marketing company in the Philly suburbs, and we help more than 100,000 businesses connect with their audience through email and grow their business. I'm really excited to speak with you all today about email marketing and how to grow your email list because first off, it's something that I'm really passionate about, but it's also something that's going to make a big difference in your business and help you grow your business. So let's get right into it. First off, we're going to go through what you'll learn today. And first, you'll learn the value of email marketing, why you should spend your time on email marketing. We'll go into 3 mistakes to avoid when growing your email audience, and then 3 proven tactics to grow your email list and your business. So first off, why email marketing? It's what the people want. 72% of people prefer to receive promotional content through email, while 17% prefer social media. So that's the difference between people wanting to hear your message and not wanting to hear your message. So it's important to reach your audience where they want to be reached, and email is a great way to do that. Also, email works. So we know from the previous stat that people like to receive promotional messages through email, but this stat shows us that not only do they prefer it, but it actually convinces them to purchase. So it creates a buyer decision, which is what we want. Email also works at every stage. So what do I mean by this? Well, this is your marketing funnel, and the marketing funnel represents the buyer journey, or how a prospect goes from becoming aware of who you are as a company to converting or purchasing, and then becoming fans of your brand or advocates. So your marketing strategy should include tactics for each stage of the funnel so you can convince your prospects to become customers and your customers to become advocates. And the nice thing about email is that you can use it at every stage of your funnel. So this makes email really versatile and a really powerful tool when building out your marketing strategy. Email is also worth the money. Email has a 4,300% ROI, which means that for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you see $43 in return on investment. So this makes email worth your time and worth your money. So not only is it where people want to hear from you, and not only do they make buying decisions based off of email, but also email is time well spent. You actually will make money through it. Also, you own it. So you own email. If we think about all of these social media platforms on the screen here, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, we know that they can be great and amazing tools to promote our business, but we also know that we don't own them. So what does that mean? Well, if you decide that Facebook isn't working for your business and you want to try something else, but you've spent time, maybe years, building up thousands of followers, you can't take your Facebook followers with you when you leave. So you lose all that work. On top of that, if a social media channel decides to change how they operate, you're stuck going along with that change, wherever it could be. For example, it used to be that if you had a Facebook business page and you would post to your page, your followers would see that post in their news feed. But Facebook changed their algorithm at a certain point, and so now you need to pay to have your own followers see a post. And that kind of turned Facebook from a free platform and a great opportunity for marketers to grow their business into something where you have to pay to promote your own posts to your own followers. And now Instagram is actually changing their algorithm as well. And we don't know exactly what that means for marketers, but it definitely shows us that we're not in control of those choices. So unfortunately, while social media is a powerful tool for your business, you're forced to go along with the whims of a social media company. Email, on the other hand, is yours. You own your list. You choose how and when to send your messages to subscribers. And if you want to export your email list and switch your email marketing provider, like because maybe you're frustrated, you can. And just like as a qualifier here, I'm in no way saying that you shouldn't be using social media to market your business. Social media should be a big part, an essential part of your marketing strategy. And I actually think social media and email work very well together. And I'll show you later on in the presentation how you can use social to grow your email list. Another advantage of email marketing is you have permission. So what does that mean? It means that for email, your subscribers opt in or choose to be a part of your email list, which means that they want to hear from you. They've given you their permission to email them, which makes email marketing permission marketing. So this changes your relationship with your subscribers from a marketer to a helper or an educator, and often if you're doing email right, maybe even a friend. It's actually very interesting. There's something psychologically really important about the fact that email marketing is permission marketing. So when I receive emails that I've opted into, I think about them differently. I'm more invested and I'm more engaged because I personally made that choice to be a part of that marketing message. So it's not just like an advertisement that I did not want to see. Here's what Seth Godin, who's an entrepreneur, author, and marketer, says about permission marketing. Permission marketing turns strangers into friends and friends into loyal customers. It's not just about entertainment. It's about education. Permission marketing is curriculum marketing. So we've gone over why email is so powerful. And now I want to go into why you should be growing your email list. Why are we here at this webinar today? And why are we learning about list growth? The first thing is email doesn't work without an audience. So you could have the best email content on the planet, and you could be emailing your subscribers and this great, amazing, helpful, useful stuff. But if you don't have any subscribers, it's not going to work for you. So you do need to have an audience, and this is a pretty straightforward point, but it's very important. And secondly, your email subscribers leave your list. So even if you have a great size list right now, your email subscribers are leaving that list, and the list is slowly diminishing if you're not growing your list. In fact, Marketing Sherpa found that 22.5% of your subscribers leave your email list every year, and that's a big deal. So this makes list growth super important. All right, so now I want to go into the 3 mistakes to avoid when growing your email list. And if you avoid these 3 mistakes, it's going to help you build a better email list, a more qualified email list, and an email list that's going to actually drive purchase decisions. First off, buying your list. So it may seem like buying your list is just an easy way to get started, but the problem with building your list by buying your list is threefold. First, it's not permission marketing like we talked about earlier, which means that the subscribers on your list aren't going to be as receptive or receptive at all to your message because they didn't choose to be a part of your list. Second, bot lists have typically already been purchased by other companies, so the emails on those lists are already being spammed by other companies. So if I have an email address on a bot list, I'm probably pretty tired of being spammed by email marketers, and I really don't want to hear anything through email. And third, a reputable email marketing company won't even allow you to import a purchase list into your account. And this is because it hurts email reputation. So you could spend a significant amount of time buying a list to find that you can't even use it. Second mistake to avoid is going for quantity over quality when growing your list. So when you're building your email list, you might be tempted to think that you just need to get the largest list that you can possibly get, no matter who the subscribers are, because you want a large list because that means more customers. But when you think that way, you'll start using list building practices that are ineffective. You want the right people on your list. You don't want a large list of people who are unengaged and uninterested and unlikely to buy from you. So to avoid this, you want to make sure you practice list building techniques that will attract your target customers within your industry. And later on in the presentation, we'll show you how to do that. Third mistake to avoid is not offering value. So this goes back to earlier. Why you have to ask yourself, why would someone want to join your list? And they want to join your list for value. They want to learn something new, or they want to be educated, or they want to get something. So when you're trying to get your audience to join your list, you want to make sure that they know what they'll get out of joining your list. Because if you don't show them that, they won't subscribe. And once they do subscribe, you do want to make sure that they see that value that you promised them earlier, because otherwise they'll unsubscribe, which will hurt your list growth. Okay, so we went through the 3 mistakes to avoid when growing your email list. And now I want to go into 3 tactics. I'll go into 3 tactics that you can use to grow your list. And the first of these is sign-up forms. And I'm going to spend a significant amount of time talking about this and what makes an effective sign-up form, because your website sign-up forms are one of the most powerful list building tools that you can use. Why is that? So why sign-up forms? Why are they so powerful? And why are they a great tool to grow your business and your email list? Well, they work when you can't. So they build your list all day long. If someone visits your website or your blog at midnight tonight and they see your sign-up form, they can join your email list at that time while you're sleeping. And it's not like an in-person event where you collect email addresses and you have to be there spending your time. They work when you don't have to do anything with it. And it's also minimal effort for big impact. Sign-up forms have the potential to build a list very quickly with minimal effort. And when used correctly, they also help you build a qualified list of quality subscribers who are likely to buy your products or services. So you want to attract the right people, and sign-up forms can help you do that when they are done right. Okay, so when you're growing your list, you want your sign-up forms to have a high conversion rate, because the better your sign-up forms conversion rate, the faster you'll grow your email list. So I'm going to go through some examples of effective sign-up forms and talk about what exactly makes them effective. And the reason I'm going to do this is because you can use these same techniques on your website to increase the conversion rate of your forms and to grow your email list more quickly. So this point goes back to our earlier point about making sure that your subscribers get value out of joining your list. A freebie or incentive is something that you give your email subscribers in exchange for signing up for your email list. It could be something like a checklist or a template, an ebook, a guide, or one of my favorites is an email course. So when you create your incentive, what you want to do is make sure it's something that's related to your product or service and your industry. And the reason you do this is you want to get qualified, quality subscribers. And if someone is interested in your products, if your incentive is related to your product or service and industry, then you have a good guess that they're probably interested in those things. And you also want to make sure your incentive is valuable to your audience. So let's look at this example from Litmus. Litmus is an email testing service. So they help you, before you send out your emails, they help you see how your emails look on different platforms, like whether you open it in Gmail or whether you open it in Outlook. First off, we can see the incentive is free responsive email templates. So we know that who Litmus is trying to attract as customers are people who are already using email marketing, because then they'll want an email marketing testing service. So these responsive email templates are a great incentive because they show that anyone who wants this incentive is already using email marketing. So it's helping bring in that right audience. And secondly, you can also see the value of these templates. So more than 50% of emails are opened on mobile, according to the content of this form. And we can see that these 5 templates are going to be super valuable because they look great on mobile as well as on your desktop. So this form, this incentive on this form is really great because it shows it's valuable, and it also brings in the right kind of subscribers. So the second thing is you want to have a clear headline, offer, and call to action. Why is that? Well, you have 0 to 8 seconds to catch a website visitor's attention, and after 8 seconds, the majority of your visitors leave your site. And this is just based off statistics. So this means that your sign-up form headline and content need to draw your visitor in quickly and effectively. So they need to do work. And to do this, you need a clear and compelling headline, offer, and call to action. So you want to be descriptive, but you also want to be brief. Let's look at this example here from Enchanting Marketing. The headline there is free 16-part snackable writing course. So that's really brief. It also explains exactly what you're going to get in a few words. So that's a really effective headline. And then if you go through the copy there below, the bulleted lists, they're also using really powerful descriptive words, and they're not very long, and they're very easy to read. And it also, if you look at that second bullet point, the power of the subtle nod. When I read that, I want to know what that is. So I'm more likely to opt in because it intrigues me, and I'm very curious. So this is some powerful content. And then if you look at the call to action button, or the CTA, it's start my free course now. It's very straightforward. And so using a technique like this is going to increase your sign up form conversion rate, which means that you're going to grow your list faster. Another thing to use is benefit-focused copy. So we're going back again to our previous point about providing value. No one will subscribe to your list unless they see the value in joining your list. So that means, like, beyond just offering them an incentive for joining, you need to use benefit-focused language, or the what's in it for me kind of language. So if we look at this example from Felicia Ricci, and she is an online singing coach, the headline there is want to learn how to belt sing for free. So that right there is a benefit. Yes, like if you're reading that, you see the benefit is, oh, I'm going to learn how to belt sing for free if I opt into this form. And then the subheader there, discover the crazy simple 3-step formula that'll teach you how to belt like a pro. It's 100% free. So there are actually 3 benefits in those 2 sentences. 1, the 3-step formula. So that tells me as the reader that it's going to be really easy and quick to learn this, which is a great benefit. And the second benefit is that I'm going to learn to belt like a pro. That's awesome. And the third benefit, it's 100% free. So as I'm reading this, I'm being convinced that this is really what I want to do, is I want to opt into this form. And so that's going to help increase your conversion rates on your forms as well. Another thing you want to keep in mind for your sign-up forms is context. So on the Aweber blog, our highest converting pop-up or slide-in forms are ones whose subject matter align with and complement the blog post they pop up or slide in on. So they work in the context of the post. Context is what surrounds your sign-up form message. And your website or blog content should establish value, and then your sign-up form should build upon that value. So our example below is from Magnolia Market, and they're an online shop, and they're owned by Chip and Joanna Gaines from the HGTV show Fixer Upper. And so what you're looking at here is just a page from their website, and it goes through some of their products, and you see really appealing, beautiful pictures of their products. So that's establishing the initial value. So I'm looking at these products, I see they're beautiful, and I may be thinking to myself, I want to buy these. But You also may be thinking, well, it costs too much. I'm not sure. I'm not ready yet to buy. And so what pops up on this very page right here is this sign-up form, and it offers a 10% discount on the exact same products you've just been looking at. So this is adding value on top of the initial value you established on the page, and it's a value of a 10% discount. So if your visitor wasn't sure yet whether they were going to buy, this helps convince them. And it also gets them to subscribe to your list and grow your list. So context is a great way to grow your list faster through a more high converting sign-up form. So probably most of us have purchased something off of Amazon. I know I have, and I purchase things off Amazon quite frequently. And for me, when I'm deciding whether or not to buy a product, I'll look at the customer reviews. And if something doesn't have 4 out of 5 stars and a lot of people reviewing it, I'm less likely to buy it. So why does that happen? It happens because a lot of good reviews showed me that lots of other people liked that product. And this alone can convince me to buy. And this is actually a psychological concept called social proof. And I'll give you the textbook definition of social proof. Social proof is a psychological phenomenon where people assume the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior for a given situation. So you may be asking yourself, why are we here on a webinar on list building and we're talking about psychology? Why are we talking about a psychological concept? Well, it's because you can actually use this concept to grow your email list. If we look at this example here below, I'll show you how social proof can be used on your sign-up forms. So this is from Convince and Convert, and the big header there is, are you in? Right below that is the social proof. 20,000 digital marketers already received definitive daily newsletter by Convince and Convert. So it's that 20,000 digital marketers. So when I look at that, I'm a marketer, and I say to myself, oh, 20,000 other digital marketers are using this or reading this. I should probably be reading it too. So it's that mentality of other people are doing it, I want to do it too. And that can actually really increase the conversion rates on your sign-up forms. And finally, something that makes a great sign-up form is you want to A/B test your sign-up forms. A/B testing, it's also known as split testing, but it's when you compare similar versions of a sign-up form to see which one performs better. So most form building software includes a split testing feature, so you don't have to do it yourself. And what this allows you to do is have a first version of your form and a second version of your form, and the form building software will serve the different versions equally and then collect the data, and you'll be able to see which form had a better click-through rate or conversion rate. And this is important because you want to have really high converting sign-up forms because you want to build your list effectively. You don't want to waste website traffic. Website traffic is super valuable. So if you have it there, you want the most people to join your list as possible. And A/B testing can help you do that. If we look at the example on this slide, these are actually 2 forms that were used on the Aweber blog. They were promoting the same 7-day email course that we wanted visitors to subscribe to and opt into, but they're just promoting it differently. So the one on the left is promoting, it's using benefit-focused language that talks about a free email writing course, write better emails in 7 days. So it's focusing on the writing course and the benefit of writing better emails. And the one on the right is focusing on the 20+ free email templates that come with the course. So the templates come with the course no matter what, but the one on the right focused on that. And what we wanted to see is, first off, we wanted to increase the conversion rate of this form, but we also wanted to see what appealed to our audience more. Was it the templates, or was it the writing better emails in 7 days and the course itself? Well, what we found was that the form on the right performed way better. It had an 182% increase in click-through rate, which is almost double the click-throughs, which is a big deal for your website traffic and growing your list. So if I could encourage you to do anything, it's split test your forms. It's just small changes and small differences, but it can make a big impact. All right, so we've gone through sign-up forms and how They are such a powerful tool. But unless you have website traffic to those forms, they don't work because no one's going to see them. So it's really important to drive traffic to your site to grow your list so that more people see your sign-up forms and more people opt in. So I'll go on and talk about 2 ways that you can do that. And the first way is guest blogging. So guest blogging is pretty straightforward. It's writing for another company's blog. So you come up with an idea for a topic, you pitch your post to that blog, and then they decide to publish it. So why is guest blogging a good list building technique? First off, like we talked about earlier, it drives traffic. It can drive traffic to your website and drive traffic to your sign-up form, which means more people opting in and filling out your sign-up form, and more list building. Guest blogging also builds a relationship. When people read your guest blog post content, they start to build trust with you and they start to develop a relationship with you. And what that means is that increased conversion rates when you take them to your website and your sign-up forms because they already have that trust. Guest blogging also builds a quality list. So it helps you bring in the right kind of leads and the right kind of subscribers. When you post guest blog posts within your industry and that are related to your product or service, it brings in the right people. So how do you drive traffic and grow your list with guest blogging? How exactly do we do that? Well, one way is to promote your sign-up form at the end of your post. So in this post, this was on the blog Copy Blogger, and it was a guest post by Henneke from Enchanting Marketing, and it was called 11 Ways to Bore the Boots Off Your Reader. So it was about copywriting. And just a little side note here on Enchanting Marketing and Henneke. Henneke is the owner of Enchanting Marketing, and she actually used guest blogging to grow her email list. It was her main tactic, her big tactic. She started out with an email list, wasn't sure where to go with that, and used guest blogging to grow a very successful and strong and qualified email list. So she's the proof that it works. But here's what she did in this guest blog post. She had at the end of her post, she had a here's what to do next section. And her first point there is just related to her article on here's what to do next. But point number 2 says, are you interested in learning more about copywriting and content marketing? Which, since they just read a post on content, on copywriting, they probably are. And then she goes on to say, join my party at Enchanting Marketing and download your free copy of 21 easy tips to turbocharge your web copy and win customers. So here she is promoting her sign-up form, and when you click on this link, you're redirected to this landing page with her sign-up form. So she's building her list through promoting her sign-up form at the end of her guest blog post. Another way to grow your email list with guest blog posts is to link to your form, your sign-up form, or your website in your bio, in your author bio. So most blogs will have an author bio, and a lot of people will spend time writing their author bio just about themselves. But a really great way to grow your list is to link to your sign-up form or your website in the content of your author bio. So this is from Enchanting Marketing again. It's on the Kissmetrics blog, and the post was called How to Avoid the Destructive Power of Adjectives in Your Marketing Copy. And you can see in that third sentence there, sign up for her ultra short, entertaining copywriting and content marketing tips. So this is in the author bio, and when you click on that, it leads to another landing page, and this one promotes her sign-up form again. So it's driving traffic to her sign-up form, and then when people fill out their email addresses, they join her email list, and she's growing her list. So the author bio is another great way to promote and drive traffic to your sign-up forms in your guest blog posts. A third way is through something that's called an editor's note, and it's not always termed that way, but the advantage of growing your list on a guest blog post through an editor's note is that typically an editor's note is at the top of your blog post, which means that it gets more traffic. So more people are seeing it, and they're seeing it right away because that's the first thing you see on the blog post, which means more people to your website or your sign-up form and more list building. So there are really, if you find a blog that does this, that's a great blog to guest blog for typically because it just gets a lot more traffic. So in this one, this was a guest post on the Lead Pages blog. It was called LinkedIn Traffic Hacks, 3 Unexpected Ways to Generate More Business from LinkedIn. And the writer here, Alex, actually links to his homepage. So Linkfluencer is his homepage. And a lot of people in our last 2 examples, you saw that they were linking to a landing page. However, you may not have the resources or the time to build a landing page for every single time you want to promote an incentive. So you can do what Alex does here. And that's when you click on this link, you're taken to his homepage, and this is the first thing you see on his homepage. It's a sign-up form, an opt-in form for his free digital guide on LinkedIn, about LinkedIn. So it's related to his blog post, which means that the people that are coming, the traffic that's coming from his blog post, are interested in LinkedIn because they read the post. And so he's going to increase his conversion rates by doing that, but he's also growing his list here by bringing that traffic here and having them opt in to his email list. So a few tips to keep in mind when using guest blogging to grow your email list. First off is you want to educate, because the thing is, people don't want to feel like you are talking about yourself throughout a guest blog post, and neither will an editor publish a guest blog post that's all self-promotional. So the main focus of your blog post should be education and providing value, and then link to your sign-up form or your website where it makes sense. So don't just link to it throughout your content. Link to it at the end or at the beginning, like we showed you, or in the author bio. You can link in the middle, but you just want to make sure where you're linking to yourself and promoting yourself, that it's natural and it makes sense and it's related to your topic. And secondly, you also want to find good blogs to guest post on if you want to actually use these blog posts for list growth. And what a good blog is a blog that includes an author bio, because you want to be able to talk about your sign-up form or your website in that author bio. They also promote their posts on social, because that means that if they're promoting their posts on social media, they're driving more traffic to their social media to their blog post, which means more people seeing your sign-up form and your website. And also they have engaged readers. And you want engaged readers because you want to make sure if you're going to write a guest blog post that people are reading it. And the way to check to see if a blog has engaged readers is just look at the comment section of the blog. If there are a lot of comments and really engaged, interesting comments, then that blog probably has a lot of readers, and you know they're engaged because they're commenting. So our third way to grow your list and drive traffic to your sign-up forms and your website is through webinars. So I'm not going to go through what a webinar is because we're at a webinar right now. So I think we all know what a webinar is. But why are webinars good for growing your email list? First off, they can drive traffic to your sign-up forms and your website, like we've been talking about. They're a great way to do that. They also attract quality subscribers, and quality subscribers that want to buy your products or would be interested in buying your products and services. So if your webinar topic is related to your product and your industry, that means that attendees are interested in your product and industry, and they're more likely to buy. And thirdly, webinars are super effective. And I can say that from firsthand experience. We use webinars here at AWeber. We speak at webinars, and there's a couple reasons we do. Predominantly, we want to educate, but also they're great for list growing. And it also works for other companies. In fact, the company Kissmetrics generated 518,399 website visitors and 16,394 leads from just 77 webinars. And so that 16,394 leads, that's email subscribers. So that means they grew their list by more than 16,000 with just 77 webinars. And you'll get the article on how they did that in the resources in the follow-up blog post after this webinar, so you'll be able to see how they did that. But it just shows how effective webinars are for list growth. And here's the thing about webinars. First and foremost, they need to provide value. So you don't want to spend 30 minutes at a webinar selling your product. And there's a couple reasons for this. First off, unless you told your attendees before they registered that they'd be getting a sales pitch, it's kind of deceptive. And secondly, your audience will be turned off, and if you do send them emails after the webinar, they're going to be way more likely to unsubscribe to your email list because they're kind of annoyed at you. And it's just not good list building practice. So you want to make sure your webinars are educating your attendees and building your relationships. So how do you promote your webinar and grow your list? Because every time someone registers for your webinar, you get their contact information. So how can you actually use webinars to grow your email list? Well, you need to drive traffic to this. And this is the webinar landing page and sign-up form. And this is the one we actually used for this very webinar. So to make your webinar a great list growth tactic, you need to drive tons of traffic to this page and then have people opt in and register for the webinar and then join your email list. So how do you do this? One way is you can use a form on your website or blog. So here in this example below, we use a form on our blog, on relevant blog posts, to promote this webinar that we had, how to entice subscribers to open and click your emails. So that was just taking our blog traffic and encouraging them to opt in to our email list via this free incentive of a webinar. So this is driving traffic to the landing page so that people can sign up. So that's one way. Another way is to use social promotion. So free social promotion on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, or any other social media channel. This example here was actually one that AdThis tweeted to promote this very webinar. And it's just very straightforward, talks about the webinar, has a bit.ly link to the landing page. So that's driving traffic to your landing page, and people are opting in, and you're growing your list. So we just talked about free social promotion. You can also use paid social promotion. So you can use Facebook ads or Twitter ads or LinkedIn ads as well to drive traffic to your website, to your webinar landing page and sign-up form. And we do this ourselves at Aweber. As you can see, this is a Facebook ad that we used to promote a webinar, what we did with mail charts. And it's just a great way to drive traffic. But what we've also found with Facebook ads here at Aweber is that when we use a Facebook ad to ask people to download a trial of Aweber, for instance, it's not effective because on Facebook you have a lot of cold traffic who aren't really necessarily aware of your brand yet. So to ask them to get a trial right away is they're not ready for that. They may not know the value of email marketing at this point, and they just may not be interested at all in getting started. So what we do with our Facebook ads is we use them for list growth. So Facebook ads in themselves are another great list growth tactic. And so we just promote a free incentive, because when you see a Facebook ad that's basically telling you, oh, here's something free for you, it's way easier to click on that and sign up than someone who's like, oh, buy this thing from me. So just a side note, Facebook ads are really effective at list growth, and they're also great for driving traffic to your webinar landing page. A third way is to partner up. So for this webinar we're at today, AdThis brought us on board to speak at this webinar. We partnered up, and we each emailed our own audiences to invite them to the webinar. So we're leveraging each other's audiences to grow our email lists and to grow to get more attendees to the webinar and to drive traffic to our webinar landing page. So this email on the right is the one that we sent to our Aweber audience, and the email on the left is the one that AdThis sent to their audience. So you're using your partner's email connections and email audience to grow your list. So this is a great way to grow your email list, and you can actually partner up in things beyond just webinars. So there's a lot of ways you can partner up with other companies within your industry and grow your email list. And the important thing to keep in mind is when you're looking at a partner, looking to find a partner, you want a partner that aligns with your industry and whose audience could be your target audience. So you just want to make sure you find the right partners as well. But that's a great way to drive traffic to your webinar landing page or to your website in general, and to ultimately grow your list. So real quickly, how to get started with webinars. Just find a topic, practice, and share your knowledge. What I find is a lot of people feel that they can't host a webinar, that they don't have something valuable to share, that they don't have something to talk about. And that's just not true. You do have something valuable to share. You're an expert in something, and you just want to find your expertise and develop it and practice. And you will be a great webinar speaker because you are passionate about something, and it's usually your business and your industry. So that makes you a great person to speak at a webinar. So in summary, what we went through today is, first off, we talked about how email marketing is effective. We talked about the great ROI of email marketing, how people want to hear from you in email, and how they're likely to buy as a result of an email. And we also talked about how you own email and the advantages of that. And secondly, we went through what mistakes you should avoid when growing your list, and that's buying a list, trying to attract quantity over quality, and failing to provide value. And then finally, we went over some tactics to actually grow your email list, and the tactics for website sign-up forms, guest blog posts, and webinars. So here are some of the resources from this webinar. You'll see those in the blog post follow-up after the webinar. But if you have any questions, or you want to reach out to me and connect with me, my Twitter handle is Liz Willits, so feel free to follow me on Twitter and to tweet at me. And with that, I want to open it up to questions. If you have any questions for me or questions about list growth, I'd love to answer them, and I'd love to talk about that. But I also want to extend an offer. If you want to give Aweber a try, either because you haven't been using email marketing and you're now convinced that, okay, this could be a good tool for me, or a good marketing tool for me, or you have another email service provider and you're frustrated with them, I invite you to get a 30-day free trial of Aweber at aweber.com/order.htm. And with that, I just want to open it up to questions, and thank you all for being here today.
Thanks so much, Liz. I really appreciate that talk. It was really great. We have lots of questions. We're going to try to get through as many of them as quickly as possible. So starting off right at the top, Jean asks, so she sounds like she has a really great email list, but wants to know about what she can do. A lot of her emails are going into the promotions tab in Gmail, and wanted to know if you had any recommendations.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's actually an interesting thing about Gmail. A lot of people use Gmail, and they do have the promotions tab, which can be a challenge. So the way really to get out of the promotions tab and into their regular inbox in Gmail is to get them to be opening your emails and engaging with your emails, because that tells Gmail that they're interested in your content. So what you want to do that is just write really great, valuable content. Use clear subject lines that tell them exactly what's in the email so that they're more likely to open it. And those are basically, it's just providing great content is the best way to get out of the promotions tab in Gmail. There's no trick or way to get around it. It's just the best way is to just increase engagement. So to have more people opening and clicking on your emails will help you get out of the Gmail promotions tab.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I've personally I've seen a lot of people that have just asked their users, where you can just in the email itself ask your users to pull the email, drag it into the main inbox, and then Gmail will actually ask you to say, do you want to do this for all emails from this person? And I've seen some people do that really well as well. But
yeah, that's another great way to do it as well. And in general, you can ask your subscribers to whitelist you, so that it doesn't end up in spam, even just beyond the Gmail promotions tab. You can ask your subscribers to whitelist you, which just means that they want your emails in their inbox.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. And as Liz said, the best way to have the foundation do that is by providing great content. Nikki asked, how do your sign-up form tips apply specifically to B2B companies? I don't know if you want to switch back to some of those really quickly, but
yeah.
If you had specific tips for a B2B company and sign-up forms.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to use similar tactics, whether you're B2B or B2C, for your sign-up forms. Uh, but so, for instance, if you're promoting to a business, basically you want to show the value to that business. And a lot of businesses are extremely busy, so you can kind of leverage that time-saving quality in your content. And also, a lot of businesses are metric focused, so they're data focused. They want to know exactly what they're going to get out of something. So you can also focus on data. So I would focus on the time-saving elements in the data for B2B. You can also do that for B2C as well, but I think that's is an effective way to communicate with B2B companies.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. With Ian wants to know, for a webinar, when you do a webinar, do you just automatically subscribe people to your email list, or just kind of expounding on his question a little bit, do you recommend some sort of nurturing program, or how does that work?
Yeah, so what you do want to make sure that people know that they're going to be receiving follow-up emails from you. So you can put language in your landing page that says that you will be receiving follow-up messages from us. So that's one way to just be very clear and direct with it. Another thing we've tried at AWeber and seen a lot of success with is we have a lot of email courses and incentives that are related to the topics we're talking about in the webinar. So we'll say in our landing page language, you're also going to get this great free incentive as a part of the webinar. So if our webinar, we had one on what to write in your emails, and we told people that they would get our what to write in your emails email course. So we told them up front they'd be getting that, and so that was a great way to have them, for us to be able to subscribe them to the email list and send them those emails when they already have that knowledge of getting those. And another way is to just ask them after the webinar to join the list. So you can send the webinar recording after the webinar, so that gives you an opportunity to engage with them via email because you're sending them that valuable content of the recording. And you can say, oh, if you want more content on list growth, for example, because we're at a list building webinar today, then join our 7-day course on growing your email list, or check out this free ebook on growing your list.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Liz. Next question. What are your thoughts on paying influencers, like popular YouTubers or bloggers to promote your email list? Have you found that to be effective at all?
Yeah, I mean, we work with influencers here, and when you find an influencer that is in your space and in your industry, it can be super effective. There's something like when an influencer has been paid, it's kind of like it kind of wrecks the interaction a bit. So it's kind of nice to have influencers who just love you because they love who you are. They're really just advocates. But yeah, I think paid influencers are a great way to partner up with someone and to promote your business and your email list.
Awesome. Roxanne wanted to know, do you have any tips for building an email list specifically in LinkedIn?
Wow, in LinkedIn. Okay, so I've actually never tried to build an email list in LinkedIn personally, but one way to do that, you could do it through LinkedIn ads for sure. You can also do it in LinkedIn groups. So if you've ever been part of a LinkedIn group, like I'm a part of a couple, but it's basically people just talking about a certain specific topic and sharing information. Now, some LinkedIn groups have really stringent rules. So they'll be like, you can't promote anything in this group. And so if that's the case, you don't want to do this. But if they're open to promotion where it makes sense, you can promote your list in that if it's related to what people are talking about. So if you have a course on fitness, free email course on fitness that you want to promote so that people will join your list, you could go into a LinkedIn group, a fitness LinkedIn group. I don't know if those exist, but you could go into one, and if people are talking about, oh, I'm really trying to learn more about this certain topic, you could share your course with them and invite them to subscribe. So that's one way you can definitely use LinkedIn to grow your list.
Awesome. Kate wants to know, what's the best way to find blogs to contribute to a guest blog at?
Yeah, so the best way, depending on your industry, so if I was trying to find a guest blog post, I might start off by going into Google and just searching like best email marketing blogs. And that'll bring up, usually it'll bring up a list of people who, it might be like the 10 best email marketing blogs. And so the reason you might want to try this is, first off, it's within your industry. And also, like, you're bringing in blogs that people have written about and said that they're really great blogs. So that's a fast way to find good blogs, is just to use Google or Yahoo or Bing and search for them and pull them out and contact them. So that's a really great way to find good blogs. And another way is you'll probably bump into them in your day-to-day interaction. So for me, I'm very interested in email. I love email marketing, so I read a lot of blogs about email marketing. I follow people on Twitter who talk about email marketing, and they'll post posts from different blogs about email marketing. And usually then, like, if I see, I'll go and check out that blog, and if I see there are tons of comments on there and a really engaged readership, that would be one that I would put on my list of potential best blog posts.
That's awesome. Sean asked, does Aweber support A/B testing for sign-up forms?
Yes. So there is a way to A/B test your sign-up forms with Aweber, and if you don't know how to do that, you can talk out with our tech support team. They can show you how to do that. There's not like a real quick, easy button to click, but we do A/B test our. Oh, sorry. Did you say A/B test sign-up forms or A/B test emails?
Sign-up forms. So for the sign-up forms that you guys power within Aweber, do you have A/B testing capability?
Gotcha. Sorry, apologies, confusion there. No, we don't have A/B testing within our own sign-up forms in Aweber.
Fun fact is AddThis does though. So definitely check out addthis.com. If you want to actually email me personally, Thorpe, THORP @addthis.com. I'd be happy to send a link, and we'll make sure to put a link in the recap on how to do that specifically, and specifically to Aweber.
Yeah, and Aweber integrates with AddThis. So like you can use AddThis forms and A/B test them through AddThis, and then that'll integrate with your email list in Aweber. So all those people who subscribe will automatically go into your Aweber email account.
Definitely. Next question, and it's with 3 more. It's going to try to bust through as quickly as possible. Ian and Adam want to know, favorite software to set up a webinar?
Favorite software to set up a webinar? Well, for me, it's GoToWebinar. I really like GoToWebinar. There are disadvantages to GoToWebinar. One being is that they haven't added a lot of new functionality and features in like the last few years. But for some reason, I was just reading a blog post on this actually. For some reason, people have found that GoToWebinar is more people attend the webinars in the end. And I don't know if it's because it's a recognized brand or people are used to GoToWebinars, but apparently there's increased engagement and attendance just when you use GoToWebinar. But other ones I've used are Webinar Ninja is kind of cool, and so is Webinar Jam.
Awesome, thank you. Next question, is any thoughts on how to potentially profile your subscribers so that you only send the right content to people that actually want it?
Yeah.
I know that's potentially a long question or potentially a long answer, but I don't know if you had any brief thoughts on that one. And this is from Donald.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that could get really long, and it could become a very long topic. But the one way to do
could do a whole webinar on that topic in and of itself.
Yeah, segmenting your email list or your email audience is so important, and there's tons of ways to do it. In Aweber or in most email service providers, what will happen is you'll tag subscribers via the sign-up form. So when someone signs up for your email list, they'll get a tag or like a custom field added to their specific email address in your account. So you could ask someone on your sign-up form, like, oh, what's your favorite kind of jelly? Like, is it raspberry, or is it strawberry, or is it grape? And the people who all said grape would get a tag on their specific email address in your email account that's like grape. So you could send them content about grape jelly because they've been tagged that way. So you can segment your list via tagging, and you can do that in Aweber. So that's a great way to segment your list, is just via what they put in their sign-up form as their own interests.
Awesome. And then last question, Jacqueline wants to know, does Aweber have one-to-one support for someone that may need help getting their sign-up form set up?
Absolutely. So our support team just won a gold Stevie's award. They're really awesome and they love to talk to people. I've hung out with them a good bit and they'll be on the phone with people, helping them out for, however long that you need help. So they're there for you and it's a really great support team and they love talking to people, and you can contact them via chat or via email, but like you can also have a phone conversation with them. And, if you need an hour to work with them on your sign-up forms, they'd be happy to work with you.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, Liz and everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. We really appreciate it. Definitely keep an eye out for the follow-up email. We'll be emailing you with the survey. We really appreciate and value your feedback. We'd love to know what you thought of this webinar. So definitely look out for that. We will also email you again with the slides, a recap of the webinar that you can read, but then also the video. So if you miss any portion of this great talk and the Q&A, that will all be in your inboxes over the course of the coming week. Just wanted to thank you again on behalf of AdThis, and definitely stay tuned. We have many more webinars coming up in the coming months, and we'd love to see you again. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.